Welcome to a special Thursday morning edition of Thursday Night Takeaways. I see how that kind of is a conflict, but I really just wanted to get into a few different topics. We got 3 great games on today, and I am proudly, at this time of taping, not starting any player playing on a Thursday. Let's take the first game, Chicago-Detroit. We really don't know what to expect out of the Lions quarterback. We know what to expect out of the Chicago quarterback. We're looking at, less than 200 yards through the air. We're probably looking at 1 to, plus or minus 1 on that. I wouldn't give Mitch Trubisky more than 1 touchdown today. You just hope that Khalil Mack can end the life of Matt Patricia, and that way the Lions won't have to be forced to literally watch we're watching a sinking ship. We've been watching the same sinking ship, only this time Matt Patricia has put all of the gunpowder in a centralized location on the ship, and enemies just know where to drop bombs. And 21-21. I'm thinking as it goes into overtime, Chicago's gonna run basically that kickoff and overtime back for a TD, reminiscent of another Chicago-Detroit game that I watched, 15, 20 years ago. Moving into the next game, we got the Bills versus Cowboys. We got Jerry Jones calling out, Coach Garrett, and I really don't like. I don't like where the Cowboys are at. I know Jeff Heath is dealing with shoulder issues. He's wearing that Captain C on there, and you just hate to see a captain kind of go down limping. And we're excited to see what the Bills can bring today. I know that the cat is in need of a big day out of Josh Allen. Between him and Beast, it's kind of a competition for who has less of a chance, but is still statistically in it. And then I think I'm right above them. I do not have a good, favorable matchup on any of my players. Talking Bald Mountain Fantasy real quick. I honestly think maybe Sam Darnold might be the right decision. Patrick Mahomes is the closest to being on my shit list without actually being on my shit list. I don't necessarily blame him, but I do realize that he's not at 100%, and I'll just leave it at that. Sam Darnold picked up, Sterling Shepard picked up, dropped just as quickly as I picked him up, and I'm hanging on to Nelson Aguilar. It's not a good sign. Malcolm Brown up against the 49ers defense on Sunday. Not really looking forward to that either. But what we do have is an addendum to everything that I just said. I believe I do have a Thursday player starting today. His name is Jared Cook. He might be my 15th tight end in as many weeks, and I have made egregious errors. I am literally not guaranteed a playoff spot because of my tight end moves this year. Most famously dropping Hollister for Dwelly. Dwelly completely let me down that game, and I ended up losing to Rectum Hardly 69er. And that loss is reflective of my position of where I'm at now, as probably out of the 5 or 6 teams fighting for 2 or 3 spots, I am probably 4th, in that list. I'm going to be finishing 7th in the league. Jerry Prescorn is probably going to roll up his sleeves on it's basically Junior's favorite day of the year because he gets to do what Junior was designed to do, which is consume mass quantities of food, have a lot of good time, losing money, gambling on the Detroit Lions, gambling on his Dallas Cowboys, both of whom are going to lose, both of whom will not cover the spread. So I'm going to go Bears and Bills. And then as we get to the Thursday night game, I talked about Jared Cook and the Saints. They're up against the Falcons. That actually might be wrong. I really can't remember. But let's just say Falcons, Saints, rematch. It's a rematch of the grudge match. Atlanta is winning for no reason, but maybe they are winning for a reason. We don't know. Are the Saints too good to be true? Has Alvin Kamara... basically, Alvin Kamara went from like a bull to being castrated. After last season, you could tell he didn't close the year that great. Todd Gurley didn't close the year that great. And the Rams ended up making it to the Super Bowl, and Gurley is starting to come back alive here now that we're in the second half of the season. Alvin Kamara has just, I don't own Alvin Kamara. I've never owned Alvin Kamara, but I can't say that he's had a great year. I own Alvin Kamara's former backup, Mark Ingram, and I'm worried about him on Sunday. I'm worried about him against that 49ers defense. Top of my shit list right now as far as my team goes. We'll work from bottom to top. Patrick Mahomes just on the outside looking in. Then we got James Conner. Then we got TJ Hawkinson. Then we got Ross Dwelly. Then we got George Kittle, because George Kittle, had you just not been injured that game, I would have had Hollister, and I wouldn't be having to make this video. Going through, I'm looking forward to a Sunday kind of scaries kind of day with members of the Bald Mountain Fantasy Football roster. And I shouldn't say man, I should just say governors. And I'm really just concerned. I'm concerned that this could be a live taping, or I could give several people a front row seat to my own funeral. I've put in a lot of smack talk. I've put in a lot of effort into this year. I've overmanaged. I've mismanaged. I have burned bridges. I'm pretty sure Junior won't let me into his home again, but I think that's more supported by Bailey. Because Bailey, the way Bailey won a game that he didn't need to win last week really hurt me. I mean, I made a valiant effort with Malcolm Brown and Mark Ingram, but I don't think they're going to do anything like they did last week, this week. That 49ers defense, it's like I'm beating a dead fucking horse. I'm the dead horse now. Anyway, Bailey sought revenge. Zach, Hyman, Grizzly Bear, Adams, he fucking did the same thing to me. Junior did the same thing to me. The Prescore and Adams trifecta, triumvirate, whatever you call it, trio, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Jesus, who are you? You three destroyed me. You three are single-handedly with my own mistakes and partly, honorable mention Dan Gagliardi. All five of us are responsible for this post, for my position, and for me likely being that seventh horse. I'm the seventh horse of the apocalypse. I fucking am done. I've ended it all, and there's really not much that I can do. There's some great matchups though that I'm looking forward to. I really just hope that Jeff loses. That would be nice. I know it really doesn't matter. He's in, but maybe he's not. We'll see. But he's just got too many points. Logan's got too many points. I don't see Logan losing either. That's a fugue state waiting to happen if he loses. But talking about Logan, I really wanted to bring this up too. We're looking at about 8 minutes right now, and I got a few more minutes. I'd like to talk about Steve Ackner. I'd like to talk about Bruno. But more importantly, I'd like to talk about the cold duck. There were promises made, promises given regarding a scoreboard. It's sort of like an official posting. I have not wanted to put my name or any other name like Beast, like anybody else. I didn't want to put any other names onto this bad boy of a trophy. So let me grab this for you. I brought this with me because I will be visiting the residence of Paul Bolts this weekend at some point. And I've got this little guy. I've got this trophy. This is a trophy won by Ashley Sugar Rhodes. And congratulations on the wedding, by the way. Where was my invite? Seriously. And essentially what we're looking at here is just a trophy that I may or may not have earned. It has not been official. It was maybe an unspoken. I almost feel like I was told to hang on to this just because at the end of the day, it's a good way to keep me on my best behavior. It's also a good way to just protect the integrity of this trophy. We don't know if Cal deserves it. We don't know if I deserve it. We don't even know if Paul deserves it. We just don't even know if it should be basically null and void due to the incident triggered by Jake Ford, myself, Spencer Truax, Bruno, 3-6 Mafia, Eric Goolsby, Logan Shepler, Mallory. I'm going to say Colt, but I just know that that's wrong. It might not be wrong, but I don't really know for certain. But we're all partly responsible for this trophy being in my hands, but we're also partly responsible for the disintegration of maybe a friendship, maybe future Cold Ducks. I'm really concerned about it. And the fact that I haven't seen a scoreboard or any sort of official documentation regarding my said win or not, it's hard for me to celebrate. But I'm posting this up there because I'm going to see Paul Bolt and this weekend, and we're going to officially crown me champion of the Masters unless we hear otherwise. And we're also going to officially put the names of those who have won. So the last one we had was Adam Haddad in 2016. So we have 3 years of champions to post. We have Beast. He won at Shepherd's Hollow. That was a huge win for him. It came with a lot of, truth be told, it came with a lot of controversy. But he did in fact win, and as pissed off as Adam and Alex Haddad were that day, I believe Beast earned it. He deserves it. I've seen him. I had the pleasure of playing around with him this year at Shepherd's Hollow, and he just tore up the course. He has got the ability to hit long irons accurately and a far distance, and that is something that I personally struggle with, so I give him mad respect for earning this, and I'm going to give him a kiss through this. I hope he felt that. I hope he's having a good time. I know that he's had a lot on his plate. Talking about Beast, talking about our 2017 Masters champion of the Cold Duck, and I'm just curious, does he want just Beast on there, or would he like to have his name, that Tillman name on there too? I like Beast Tillman. I think Beast Tillman sounds fucking legit. I think it sounds hard. I think it sounds about as erect as this trophy is before it inserted itself into the body of Ashley Rhodes. Anyway, might probably get a little bit of pushback off that comment. What I'm talking about now is just you go from 2017 champion to 2018 champion. That's Logan Snowman Scheffler. He had a great round. It's hard for me to declare exactly where he won that because it's a Cold Duck and my memory only goes so far back. But needless to say, he did in fact win in 2018. That also came with some controversy. Paul Bolt this time was kind of on the outside looking in. He may have deserved it. He may not have. It's hard to say. And at the end of the day, I'd like confirmation from Logan, that we have a 2019 Masters champion and that we would be awarding that. But also just what would he like on there? Would he just like snow? Would he like Snowman? Would he like topless tapas? I don't know. He has the choice to do and request anything. He can request nothing at all, and I'm sure he can trust that Paul and I will go to bat for him. There are a lot of potholes on this dirt road, and I'm almost to Thanksgiving lunch / Lions football. Got my coffee to go, got everything. I'm ready to roll. And moving out of 2018 and 2019, Darby Creek shot 35. Was really happy about that on the front nine. It all fell apart after that. I think I shot 35-47, which is a 12-stroke difference. So you hate to see it. But needless to say, I was awarded the win as far as on the net strokes go. Our gross champion of the week was Cal. I think his last name might be Rogers because he just looks like a Rogers, but I really don't know Cal at all. I think he's actually super Polish, so it's like Schmitha-Shinsky or something like that. But let's just call Cal a slow golfer and a great golfer at the same time. I would love to see just Cal versus Ben Crane, not to see who would win in overall stroke play, but just see who would win the game of destroying those around them who have to be forced to watch the slowest golfers alive. What Cal likes to do is he addresses the ball and he just sort of hovers over the ball. He's trying to basically line up his pelvis with the rotation of the earth, given his location and proximity to the nearest prime meridian. What I'd like to see is just Cal come back and really be the face of slow play and hopefully overcome that challenge that slow play has was close. Little fucking squirrel ran around. So Cal's in a battle against slow play. I'd like to see him overcome that, and that's really all I'm trying to get to. And we're getting really long-winded. We're at 15 minutes. I'm going to have to edit this out, but I don't think I will. I'm just going to let it roll. We covered all 3 games. We covered the potential visit Sunday. We covered my extracurricular activities. Logan, sorry I can't remember where you won the Masters. I am racking my brain, brother, and I'm at a loss. We're going to need an addendum to that. Cage, I'm coming for you. Mark, you little hairless fuck. Little frisbee snipping, disc golfing, watching fucking... I don't know what you look like. You look like one of the 7 dwarfs all grown up. You look like Dopey or Doc all grown up. And it's crazy to say because they are dwarfs with beards. But I'm just gonna call you. You look like one of the 7 dwarfs all grown up. Like they just stretched you out, like they had to do with what's her name in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Violet, you're turning violet. Violet. Speaking of turning violet, we would hate to see these following teams miss the playoffs or get knocked out in the first round. Let's start with Tyler Grosbeck. He's built a championship dynamo despite several issues at running back and at tight end, carrying more tight ends than running backs, which I didn't think was possible. The reemergence of Kareem Hunt, you love to see it. I love to just kick, people while they're down, but I don't tend to like to kick women while they're down. So I'm going to leave that to Tyler Grosbeck, and I'm going to leave that to the people that he decides to own or manage. Going from a person who employs individuals who kick people while they're down to a person who literally does no kicking at all, but always looks down on others. We're talking about Doc Racka Bracora. We're talking about the pride, the joy, the legacy that is Jeff Bracora, and his return to prominence. And really, he's got a winner. He's basically spoke softly and carried a big stick. The stick that he carries is his big dick, and he uses it to fuck opponents over. And you hate to see it. So, Jeff Bracka aside, Tyler Grosbeck aside, Cage the Hamster aside, I'm going to put Topless Tapas in there. He has played the classic commish game where you throw yourself lower and lower on the respectability level, and in hopes of sort of working with the fantasy gods and getting yourself into the playoffs. It's been a tremendous effort by Snowman. It's been a tremendous effort by all the members of the Topless Tapas group, and we're excited to see what they bring to the playoff picture. Then let's go right from one Keatington resident to another. We're talking Dan Gagliardi. We're talking Rectum I Hardly 69er. We're talking a controversial win. We're talking about Cooper Kupp and his donut production status. He is, if the game was to produce no points, yet still play 75% of the snaps and be considered one of the top offensive weapons, you're really just, what is Cooper Kupp doing? He's looking out for cornerbacks and defensive position players all throughout the NFL because they're all getting raises. Essentially, their agents are going to show straight up highlight reels of them shutting Cooper Kupp down. Those highlight reels are available on NFL.com, or also they're available on demand if you have Xfinity, AT&T, Wow, YouTube TV, any of those platforms will probably have some Cooper Kupp highlights of him doing absolutely nothing. But despite the nothing status, despite Deshaun Watson being a ghost at random times and then coming back alive against an Indianapolis zone defense that has really shut down a lot of great quarterbacks this year, he's there. Houston is looking tough. Houston got that win over Indianapolis, and they're probably going to roll into the playoffs, and that is a good reason for $14, I believe, Deshaun Watson is the MVP of the Gagliardi committee. The committee known as Rectum I Hardly 69er. We're excited that he's into the playoffs as well. So just by my count, I think I have 5 people in the playoffs right now that I could say with certainty that they're in. I think it's Cage. I think it's Doc Bracaflaca. I think it's Tyler Grossbeck. I think it's Topless Tapas. And I think it's Galliwardi. That's 5 all day. But that 6th spot, I really like Jerry Prieskorn. I think that today's his day. I know that just in spite of me, the Lions and the Cowboys are probably going to win, and that just sucks because they don't deserve to. Jason Garrett, he's a guy who just doesn't deserve a job. But he has a job because what he's really good at is he keeps anal beads in at all times, so that way he can't be psychologically scarred by what Jerry Jones does to him every day. And if Prieskorn doesn't make it, I would have to put myself in. But I need a lot of things to happen. I need to win. He needs to lose, etc., etc. It's just not. It doesn't look in the cards. I like his matchups over mine, and will put me at the 7th spot. Then we're gonna put Beast at 8, who deserves to be in the playoffs, but it's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. And then we'll move our way down to 9. It's hard for me to put NFC North there, but just because he deserves to be higher, I think he's got a great team, and it just didn't work out. Dal Cook, you can't do it all, buddy. I'm sorry. NFC North, you maybe should have just owned Dal Cook and then left the NFC North to burn. Just like I left Chicago's defense to burn. They're done. They're dead to me. Fuck you. I've gone as long as I can. I can't ride a fucking dead horse across the finish line. If I want to make the playoffs, my goal is to make the playoffs and get knocked out first round, because if I can make the playoffs, it's just the first time since my inaugural season to make the playoffs. So the fact that I have worked this hard against myself and I've gotten this close is really exciting. And moving on from 9 to 10. I like fuck this team. I like who they are. I like the spirit of who they are. They're champions. But this year was just not their year, and that's okay. Ross Dwelly, couldn't do it all either. Sucks to say. Moving from there to Bailey Adams. I'm forgetting somebody, because if Bailey's 11, then that's just not possible. So let's just run this down again. What did I have? I had Mark, Topless, Jeff, Tyler, Dan, Prieskorn, myself, Beast at 8, NFC North at 9. How could I have done this? I left out the Goolsby. Okay. We're rehashing this. 8, the Cat. The Cat at 8. The Cat at 8, Beast at 9, NFC North at 10. No. Yes. NFC North at 10. Fuck this team at 11. Bailey at 12. That's what I got. So we're going to run that down one more time. We're going to say Mark at 1. We're going to say I like Jeff Pecora at 2. I like Tyler at 3. I like Topless at 4. I like Rectum at 5. I like my Rectum on the side. I like Jerry Prieskorn at 6. I like myself at 7. 8. The Cat. I'll allow the Cat. I'm going to move the Cat to 7. I'm going to move myself to 8. I'm going to move Beast to 9. I'm going to put NFC North at 10. Fuck this team at 11. And then Bailey at 12. Yeah. Bailey, you deserve to be 12 because you beat me last week for no reason. I hope DeAndre Hopkins really made your day, because he's been a jerk all season, and now you're a jerk for using him against me. So, but Wild Thing, I actually hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great Thanksgiving, Zach, and all other members of Bald Mountain. Please enjoy your holiday and enjoy the games. I got Saints, Bills, Bears. Let's go marching.